that brings me to what I really want to talk about. My most anticipated release of the year finally got announced as a pre-order date, right? So it's coming out June 29th, which isn't too far away. It's 3 months. I can do that. Um, and they went ahead and they went the route of like the kind of like the TMNT box where it's like they just included Annihilation in there too. Now, kind of like TMNT, it's like I just wanted the first one if I'm being honest. I mean, if they're going to bundle the rest in there, great, but
Are they
eh,
gonna come out with a standalone first one? Because 'Cause I'll just wait and buy that.
they never did for TMNT,
Oh, they
man.
didn't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is the price is right. Like I got mine on Orbit for like 50 after everything, after taxes and everything. So
Gotcha.
the price is okay. And of course they got reversible artwork, which is great, which is kind of standard. But I actually like the new commissioned artwork. I think it's kind of cool to have.
Mhm.
Because I'm just obsessed with Mortal Kombat. So like I even like the Annihilation artwork. That looks pretty sick.
It's
It's
the
a
best
shit movie.
best part of the movie right there.
Look at that awesome like Shao Kahn in the sky there and the purple. It looks sick. I actually prefer this than the original because the original looks just so stupid. The original film cover's iconic.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
and I actually like the new cover for Annihilation better than the new cover for Mortal Kombat 1. That's kind of weird, but I think this is still cool too. I think it's a missed opportunity not to have Shang Tsung up there, and they got Scorpion up here.
Yeah.
Why I don't know. It should be Shang. But anyway, that's all. That's all good. Been looking forward to this. And look, it's just like their typical LEs. They're going to come with posters, which is pretty sick. I don't like to part out the sets, meaning I don't really hang up the posters that come with these things. I keep them in, which is kind of probably wasteful on my part. But I'm tempted to hang these up. So that's cool. Looks like it comes with poster variants of both versions of the covers of each one. So there's 4 total. And I don't know what this is, Mortal Kombat Collection official movie guide. I don't know what the hell.
Mm.
But let's go over the features. I have to say I'm disappointed. I went on record as to talking about like my hopes and dreams for what was going to be included in this set. And I even said that I remember over a year ago, Larry Kasanoff, who still owns the movie rights, and he produced this one under his Threshold Entertainment back in 95, 97. He was creeping in one of the bigger Mortal Kombat fan Instagrams, and he was trolling in the comments asking fans, hey, so let's say we did an anniversary 4K release. What would you guys want to see in it? And of course, everybody in the thread was going fucking nuts because this thing is the fact that we haven't had this on 4K yet. It's crazy. It's almost as silly as how long it took for TMNT to get on 4K. And anyway, that got me excited. It's like, wow, okay. I mean, Larry Kasanoff is just a money hungry bitch, if I'm being frank. But the reason why he ruined a good thing with Annihilation because he just had to pump it out and churned and burned it just to make me some money. And so it got me excited. I'm like, wow, are they really gonna fucking deck this thing out? Because I'm still sitting on the old Blu-ray, which is great, but the stuff that's in the Blu-ray, I've seen a million times over. And we know for a fact, even for both these movies, there's stuff we've never seen. The Blu-ray is actually king, man, because the Blu-ray has the making of featurette. It's got it's got all the stuff that they ported over from the VHS too, and it's got the Journey Begins companion VHS that was sold separately to promote the
Yeah, I
movie back
remember
in the
that.
day. They included that on the Blu-ray, so it's actually fairly robust. I've just seen all of it, and anyway, I thought it would have been cool to have some new interviews, and like for example, there's that trailer that aired in the '90s that clearly had alternate footage. You can't run from me, Shang. I
Mm.
don't need to run. That's just not in the movie. And Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I mean, speaking of this movie being thrown in here, there's literally a deleted scene that was shown in Europe or maybe Asia and of Quan Chi that was deleted. So there's like a whole different end of the movie where they show Quan Chi like he's pulling the strings of all the fucking abomination shit that goes on in this movie. And he was seen in the Asian marketing and he was there. People saw it.
Hmm.
Why didn't they include this? That would have been fucking killer. Anyway, so as you would imagine, they pretty much ported everything over from the Blu-ray, which is yawn, boring. It's kind of expected. Um, but with the exception of they actually didn't include the Journey Begins cartoon.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Why they wouldn't do that?
So there's a couple of new things. So, but let me kind of go through it all. So brand new 4K restorations of the two films, obviously 4K, Dolby Vision, HDR 10 compatible for both. DTS, we got Dolby Atmos, that's great. All that stuff's great. It's expected. All the stuff we talked about in the physical end, the posters and whatnot, reversible covers, fantastic. But here's the new features. 4K restoration. What we already did that. Approved by Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah,
Great. We
yeah.
expect it.
Mhm.
Okay, we do have a brand new audio
That'll be
commentary
good.
from Paul Anderson. That's good. However, it's unacceptable. Look, the guys that were in this movie, particularly Robin Shue and Lyndon Ashby, they are very, very good friends. They're like BFFs with Paul Anderson. They still hang out. They either like live in the same town, or at least fucking Lyndon Ashby still does. They get together. They have gone to conventions together. They've done like screenings of the film and talked about it, like for fans, just for funsies. So why couldn't they get an interview with all of them? I think it's kind of fucking bogus. And
They're cheap and they're fucking lazy. That's why.
so like these are people that are more than willing to talk about Mortal Kombat. Like, and so here we go. Brand new audio commentary with comic book expert and podcast host Dave Baxter. Who the fuck? I don't want to hear an audio commentary for the last damn time, guys. I don't want to hear audio commentary from supposed experts. And I don't care.
Arrow's been doing that a lot lately, though.
I don't give a fuck.
They
I
did that
don't
with
care.
the Hellraiser. They did that with what was that new John Carpenter one that came out?
Well, they don't, instead of getting new ones, they port over old ones and they just give us these. Now, to be fair, we have a new one with Paul Anderson, which is cool, but like, I don't care about these guys. I don't care. You might as well fucking leave it off. And look, we did get a new interview, Cage Match, a newly filmed interview with actor Lyndon Ashby. Okay, that's cool, but I'm gonna go on about this in a second. I'm gonna come back to that. Leveling Up, a newly filmed interview with cinematographer John R. Leonetti. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll take it. John R. Leonetti also directed MK Annihilation. He got promoted.
Mm.
So yeah, that's fine. As far as cinematography goes, I'm down for any interviews with anybody on the team. That's cool. Quarters to Millions, a newly filmed interview with producer Lawrence Kasanoff. Like I said, that all interests me. He's the producer. He's the guy that bought the rights and saw like how popular the video game was, and he scooped up the rights to make a movie when nobody wanted to. The Heavyweight, a newly filmed interview with designer and suit performer Tom Woodruff. This is the guy behind Goro. This is the guy behind the fucking the Spawn Alien Resurrection, the baby.
Yeah.
This guy's a legend. So I like all this stuff, right? But this shit is like old. The Journey Behind the Scenes featurette. This is literally from the VHS days. This is the featurette. Okay. On-set interview bites and cast direct B-roll. This is from the VHS. Seen it. Trailers, image gallery? What is this, DVD flapper era? What the fuck is that? You remember back when DVDs first came out and that was like a special feature? Image gallery.
Oh yeah, yeah. You get to see the
screenshots from the movie.
The low pixelated screenshots
from the movie that you're about to watch.
Yeah.
That you can now like get to any spot you want in the blink of an eye. So stupid. So like I said, I appreciate that there's new stuff, but I know how Arrow does. It's just like the TMNT set where, look, this interview with Larry Kasanoff, it's going to be 5 minutes. This interview with Leonetti, it's going to be like 5 minutes. Johnny Cage, if they were smart, it'd be long, but it's going to be like 5 minutes.
Well, they didn't get Terry Tagawa before he died.
No, look, it's one thing that you got Lyndon Ashby to do like a sit down for you for 5 minutes. He wasn't free at any point in the last year that you announced this to sit down with his good buddy Paul and do a commentary with him at least. Where's Robin Shue? Robin Shue will do this shit. All they had to do, even if it was like a scheduling thing, they did multiple events all together.
Would have done it too.
They did multiple events this year, like conventions. He could have. The people at Arrow could have met them. where they were if it was really about that and had them do this like that weekend. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. But there's no Robin Shu, Liu Kang anywhere. And Kerry DeGala passed away recently. I was really keeping my fingers crossed that they got something with him before he died. Nope. Look, is this not? I'm sorry, but is this not fucking lightweight?
Yeah, it's not great, man.
It's not great. Um, and I'm not trying to sound like a whiny baby because yeah, I'll just be glad you're getting it, man. I get it. It's on 4K. That's fantastic. I'm really happy to have it on 4K. But thi- just like the movie theaters, let's remind everybody the movie theaters are dying for a reason. If they want people to keep going to the movies and seeing something that's not like tentpole fucking Disney movies, they need to offer something different than what people can get at home. I'm not, it doesn't necessarily have to be better. It just, they need to offer a different experience. And this is why I like physical media too. I like it for preservation. I get it. I like having the physical copy. So I'm glad I have the film coming, but I want features, you know? So we have to see what separates physical media from streaming besides having something tangible. That's the main thing. But if you want more and more people outside of people like me and Todd to buy physical media, you need to offer them something they can't get with the streamers. And what could you not get on streamers and what could you not get back in the day on VHS? The special features, right? So that's what made DVD so great. Because
Yeah,
all of a sudden we had access to commentaries and featurettes. We got to like peel back the layers on these films that we love so much. And we got to hear the directors talk about the film while they watched it. And we learned stories what we would have never heard otherwise. Cause it's like sitting in a room with your friend and stuff just comes up and he's like, oh yeah, I remember this, you know, this guy hurt himself here, and you see him in this scene how he kind of like is limping a little bit. That's because he broke his ankle, you know what I mean? That kind of cool stuff
I am
that makes
curious to see what the because the Mortal Kombat community is huge, like what they're actually saying about this release. If they're excited about it or if they're bitching about it or what.
from what I've been reading briefly, people are stroking it.
Oh,
Which
really? Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
like I said, people are more or less happy. I'm being a little bit of a diva. I just expect more. You know what I mean? Like this movie means a lot to me and it does mean a lot to a lot of people. And I just, dude, the fact that all you could get was like Paul W.S. Anderson to do a commentary, which is great, and a 5 minute sit down with Lyndon Ashby as far as the cast, that's bullshit. Because they're available. Dude, Christopher Lambert, he's alive. We don't know how much longer Christopher Lambert's alive because that was one of my things. It's like, God, man, we lost Carrie. Hopefully they got something with Carrie before he died. Hopefully they get Christopher Lambert before he dies because he's old, dude. And you know, Christopher Lambert's been doing events, and Bridget, I wasn't expecting Sonia
Why?
because
What is she doing?
because well, she's been removed from the scene for years. Ever since she married Pete Sampras,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
she retired from acting. She doesn't do any of the conventions that the Mortal Kombat people do because they'll go out and do these big, like more like fan expos,
Mhm.
and they're not doing like little horror cons, but they're doing like the big expos. She doesn't do any of that shit. So she honestly kind of seemed, and even I've watched I watched a sit down with Paul Anderson and Robin Shu and Lyndon Ashby. I'm telling you, those three in particular are really tight. The fact that you couldn't even get Liu Kang and you couldn't even get them together, like that, honestly, I would stop complaining if I would have got a commentary with all three of them. I'd be like, all right, I'm good.
Couldn't
I
get
want them all,
Chan did?
dude. Like, yeah, he's a stunt guy. He's a big stunt guy
Oh,
in the industry.
yeah.
He still works in the industry as a stunt guy. And I just don't understand. And it comes down to laziness. It comes down to money. And you know what? I'm because Robin Shu would have done it. These guys would have done it. It's just, oh God, we don't want to pay. We don't want to buy a flight and pay a staff guy to go out there and
No,
do it.
because they know the fans are gonna buy it regardless.
And it's just unfortunate. You know what? And as much as I will watch this commentary with Paul Anderson, I mean, I want to chew up anything I've not heard with Mortal Kombat. A commentary with multiple people is always better. You know, a
Yeah.
commentary with, like, the director and an actor or 2 is always better than just one guy.
But
It's
you really
always
can't be
better.
surprised at this point because we talked about it last week with Alpha. They blew their wad on DVD, and ever since then, they can upgrade to 4K. They know the hardcore collectors are gonna buy it, even if it doesn't have the special features. So they don't give a fuck anymore, dude. They're just gonna keep pumping this shit out.
I find it hard to believe that Paul Anderson, Lyndon Ashby, and Robin Shue, who's nowhere to be seen, wouldn't have sat down to watch the film for free. They would have. I just know them. I don't know them, but
Maybe
I
they'd
know
have
how.
the schedule. Maybe the
But that
scheduling issues.
but that's why they're cheap. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? We're all gonna do this fan expo. We're not gonna fly out there. Literally, Paul Anderson lives in LA. You know, they probably had someone in LA. It was probably just, yeah, scheduling, but they didn't want to put in the work.
No,
To
probably
like,
not.
they didn't want to put in the work to fly to wherever Robin Shue was, you know, to get to even a separate interview. And dude, Kerry DeGawa lived in Canada. He just lived in Canada, and he would do events and stuff like that, but he was older and living a quieter life, but he would still do you could still go to him, bro.
Yeah.
Just buy a fucking ticket.
I would have loved to carry Gawa if he was on there, man. That'd be
Just
awesome.
buy a fucking ticket to go to him, sit down, have fucking tea with him, and talk to him, but they were pinching pennies, man. And, so anyway, it's a bummer. I'm excited to have it, and what do they have here on Annihilation? I guess I'll bring that up too.
Ugh.
Yeah, what's new? All of this shit. Okay, this is the stuff. This movie never had any really special features because it was a piece of shit. But looks like we had, yeah, there was like a little brief, like on-set interview, kind of like little featurette, the kind of thing you see like on ET. And you know, a trailer and image gallery. All this stuff is new. You know, obviously John R. Leonetti approved this scan. There's audio commentary with John R. Leonetti, moderated by a filmmaker. We got Jillian Wallace Horvat. Why did he need a moderator? That's kind of interesting. But I'm kind of interested in that. I want to hear what John R. Leonetti's take on this movie is, right? Because it's such a fucking abomination.
I'll let you take
And
that bullet.
well, I'm just saying, like, this movie is notorious
It's
for just
terrible.
being
So bad.
people. It's a meme. So I would actually love to hear what his thoughts are, because I've never heard his thoughts on the movie. And he didn't direct again for many years until that first Annabelle movie, just a couple
Mm.
films. Brand new audio commentary with this fucking guy. He's doing a commentary with this fucking guy again, whoever that is. Queen of the Night, a newly filmed interview with actor Musetta Vander. I is that Sindel? Who the fuck is Musetta Vander?
It's not Katana, is it?
No, that was Talisa Soto. Will you look up Musetta Vander real quick and just tell me who that is?
Yeah.
Let's see. Techno, Tycho, Orcho, a newly filmed interview with composer George S. Clinton. This is another thing, guys, that drove me crazy about the TMNT set. George S. Clinton did the music for the first Mortal Kombat as well. So why didn't they give us like a separate chat with him here about that? You know? Who is it? Who do they play?
Sindel.
Okay. Okay, too bad you will die. So that's all we got. We didn't get James Remar, of course. We didn't get any Liu Kang. It's just fucking or Brian Thompson, Shao Kahn. He would have done it. I just don't get this. You know, the Man of 1,000 Deaths, a newly filmed interview with stunt performer JJ Perry, who played Cyrax, Scorpion, and Noob Saibot. Anyway, so what kills me is I'm gonna watch this little interview. It's gonna be like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's George S. Clinton talking about the soundtrack to this film. Now, you would think a smart man, if you've got George S. Clinton in a room for an interview, you're gonna ask him questions about both films to edit them separately and include one on this, right? Right? Makes sense. They're not, because they did that with TMNT. TMNT, they talked to Ernie Reyes Jr., right, who played Kino.
Mhm.
Kino was in TMNT 1 as well. Kino played the bodysuit martial arts stunt actor in the Donatello costume.
Okay.
And so they did an interview with him and for the first movie, and he was talking about working on the first movie in the stunt costume and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, okay, well, they got him there. Surely they asked him TMNT 2 questions as well, where he actually had a starring role, and they probably cut that, and that's going to be on the part 2 disc, Secret of the Ooze. I get to Secret of the Ooze, nothing with Ernie Reyes Jr. They had him. It does, you know what I'm saying? Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't
it
make
doesn't
any
make any sense. They
it
just don't
doesn't
give
make
a fuck.
it just and so the first TMNT film was kind of front loaded with most of the features, and then 2 had less, and 3 had less, and but like some of these guys are all in the same film.
Mhm.
Like, you know, some of the actors are common, some of them change, but they didn't like during their sit downs, they didn't say, "Hey, we're going to take an extended amount of time and talk about all 3 films." And for some reason they didn't. And so anyway, it grinds my gears. That's it though. I am still, I did pre-order
See, they
it.
know they got you.
No, 100%. You know, I did pre-order the film, and because I love the film, man, and I'm still happy to have it on 4K. It's just lazy. What can I say, right? Anyway, there's that.
Well, that's why Arrow's pumping out a lot of shit because they know they can get away with doing stuff like that.
It's got like a pretty package, and it looks great. It's gonna look good on the shelf, but I feel like that's kind of where they put all their attention. It's like, and I would love to talk to. I would love it. You guys think we could get somebody from Arrow on the show sometime? Somebody in charge with putting that shit together? Because I would love.
I've reached out to Arrow a couple times and I can't get a hold of anybody.
I would just like to pick their brains and learn about their process. And I would like to ask them because maybe they have like an excuse. I don't like, well, you know, Ernie Reyes Kino, he suddenly got diarrhea. We were going to ask him about TM2. Then he got the fucking squirts and he had to go and then he had to make his flight. Oops. I want to hear what their excuse is on like why they just don't like get this information.
Courtesy flush.